Hello, everyone, and welcome to one of those games I consider an absolute privilege to show. It's from round 3 of this year's FIDE World Cup. Pentala Harikrishna versus Daniel Dardha. And I know you guys probably think, or maybe you've thought that this is the game Harikrishna already played in round 2. No, this is not the Queen Sacrifice he harbored for 9 years and employed now against Evgeny Nesterov, eliminating him from the World Cup. This is a completely different game, and I don't know, maybe I even prefer this one, because while the Queen Sacrifice Hari played in the previous round was spectacular, it was prepared. This game, this is all found over the board, or rather most of it, I would say, as the situation on the clock would tell that story. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is this is like something I said in the previous video as well, but something you'd expect from an Anderson Morphy game. So yeah, let's check it out. Hari with white opens with pawn to e4. Daniel replies with c5. We have the Sicilian defense, knight f3, d6, and d4. Okay, the open Sicilian captures, knight f6, knight to c3. And now two most popular are the Najdorf and the dragon. But here we have knight to c6. This is the classical Sicilian. Of course, you have to know it. Everyone plays it. It's, you know, by numbers alone, it is the third most popular. We have bishop to g5. This is the main line, the Richter-Rauzer against the classical Sicilian. Pawn to e6 and queen to d2. We have pawn to a6 and the knight captures on c6. So main line, nothing new being played here. B captures. We have castle's queen side. Bishop to e7 and bishop captures on f6. Now you have to capture with the g-pawn, otherwise you're going to lose that d-pawn. So g captures and bishop to c4. We have bishop to b7, and here bishop to b3 is the most played move. Hari plays rook h to e1. Again, has been played, nothing new. Queen to a1, putting pressure on that a2 pawn, so king to b1. If the bishop moves or sacrifices itself for something, then the a2 pawn will be defended by the king as well. And there are a couple of games where castle's queenside was played. Also, pawn to h5 is a known move, and seeing what happens this game, pawn to h5 really does make sense. But here we have queen to c5, and it is now, as of move 13, that we have a completely new game. Now, you might think, okay, move 13, queen c5, this is obviously preparation. But if you look at the situation on the clock, an hour and 6 minutes, it's hard to think that, but also there's no good move for black after white makes the simplest bishop to b3. It's like, okay, maybe if you go bishop to f1 and then d5, okay, maybe black does have some counterplay. But after bishop to b3, which is the most natural retreat for the bishop, and you actually want your bishop there, now black only sort of lost the tempo getting the bishop there. It's hard to see what Daniel's idea was. But okay, let's see what happens. d5, knight a4 now, as the a4 square is now available for the knight, attacking the queen. Queen to a7 and pawn to c4. And what do you play here? The problem is, you might say, okay, let's castle queenside. Do we even have any problems? Well, you do, because after, let's say, captures and captures, there's queen f4, cutting off this diagonal, preparing rook to c1. It's a really bad position for black. For example, if e5, you attack the queen, queen f5 check. And if king to b8, then bishop captures on d5. And the black's entire queenside is ruined. This is an easy win. You're going to get the rook e3, rook b3, and that's a very easy win. On the other hand, if you play d captures on c4, then you can sort of still play bishop captures, rook to d8, and okay, the game continues. So white is still better after queen f4, but the game continues. In the game after c4, Daniel thought, well, let's play rook to d8 first. It's almost the same, but you know, can't be worse, because there's a rook eyeing that queen on d2. But this is a move that actually loses the game, and I'm not going to ask you to pause the video here and calculate everything out, because it would be too complicated, but I will ask you to do it here. Captures, captures, and now only one way for white to win. It's pretty incredible, actually. Feel free to pause the video and try to find this idea while I give you a couple of seconds. Believe it or not, it is knight to c3. Again, it is the move with the knight back, yes, and those are the hardest to find, but the way you find this move is that, okay, you say black has really no moves. that are really useful. There's a king on e8, and I have no idea where that king is going. So I'm just going to improve my position, tighten my grip on the d5 pawn, and also free up the a4 square for the light square bishop. And then imagine this: check, and then we lift the rook, and then we checkmate the black king. So is it that simple? Is this, what is happening? So let's see, knight c3. And the question is, what can black play? Whether you advance the pawn or play d captures on e4 is all the same. Because, in fact, in the game, d captures on e4 was played. Play h5, sort of to meet this check, and then you can move the king, and then you don't have queen h6 as the rook covers that square. It's possible, but then e captures on d5, and the knight being on c3 is just too much for black to handle. E captures on d5, you and queen e2, you threaten mate. Let's say you move the bishop. Okay, the queen defends against mate, just bishop captures on d5. Let's say bishop b5, you attack the queen, knight captures, a captures, and now you can just play queen captures on b5 with checking f8 and queen b8. You offer a queen trade, and you can't really decline. The bishop here is hanging as well. You could go queen to c5, but yeah, okay, the queen will stay in the game a little bit longer, but you will not be able to avoid there are no threats here for black. You're going to trade down material, and you're just going to be up to connected pass pawns on the queen side. So white wins this. However, white wants to win this. That is that simple. So not really useful, this has a point, but it's also pretty useless. In the game, d captures on e4 was played, and now it's just a beautiful mating attack. Bishop to a4 check, king to f8, queen to h6 with check. We have king to g8, and rook captures on d8 with engine-like precision. Bishop captures, and rook to e3. Preparing rook to g3 checkmate. So bishop to c7, but now the bishop no longer guards f6, so knight captures on e4, threatening another mate in one. Knight f6 check will be checkmate, so bishop captures on e4, and now rook captures on e4, threatening rook to g4 checkmate. So pawn to f5, it seems like black is out of the woods, that black will be able to survive because the pawn covers e4 and the bishop covers g3, so you don't have rook e3, rook g3. Seems like black is surviving, but Harikrishna had something else planned. What did he play here? Feel free to pause the video, and you have to see at least 2 moves ahead to solve this one. It's not easy. Have at it. What a way to finish an already spectacularly played game, other than rook captures on e6. And he was in this position on move 25 that Daniel Dardha resigned the game, as there is nothing more to be done here. It seems like, what is this? I mean, it's at best a draw for white. But no, the position is so perfectly set up that it's an unstoppable sequence of moves that are winning for white. Point is that now after f captures on e6, the real move you had to see, because I have faith in you guys, I know rook captures on e6 was the first move you thought of, is bishop to b3. Only move that wins. And this light square bishop really is the star of the entire game. Just everything, was accomplished by this light square bishop. First, by waiting with the bishop to b3 tempo, then Daniel sort of giving him with that queen c5 move, that tempo that, I have no idea what queen c5 was. But yeah, there's no way to defend. Just bishop captures on e6. It's going to be mate in 1. And the only way to sort of stop it is by playing king f7, hoping now that bishop captures and you escape. But then the queen captures, and then the king hunt is unstoppable. King g7, queen to f7 with check, king to h6, queen to f6 with check, only move king h5. And again, the star of this game, bishop, the light square bishop to d1 delivers checkmate. I mean, I have no idea what to say about this game. It is beautiful. I actually prefer this one to Hari's queen sacrifice in the previous round. I don't know. I was sort of thinking about that a lot, because if I didn't know that the queen sacrifice was preparation that Hari was harboring for 9 years, and now he just unleashed it. If for example, I didn't have the clock times and I thought, okay, he found it over the board, then I would appreciate it a lot more. I don't know if that makes sense. It's like you appreciate an artist's art, but you don't appreciate AI art because it's it's just there. So yeah, I don't know. This was the entire game found over the board, so I enjoyed this one immensely. But if you just know the moves of that game, I guess it could be considered also brilliant. Some are saying it's the game of the year. I wouldn't go that far, but yeah. Bishop b3 resigns, and I mean, what a crushing victory with the white pieces. We'll see what Daniel can do with white tomorrow, but it's not going to be easy. It seems like Harikrishna is very, very close to qualifying for round 4. So yeah, that's the game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Brilliant stuff by Hari. Can't wait to see what he does in the next game, the way he's playing. I would like to thank Samuel Kane, Francisco Santana, Deepak Gangadaran, Udo Brandt, and Eddie Sphere for contribution to my channel. Thank you a lot. I really appreciate it. As usual, you can check 2 of my previous videos here. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon, continuing to check up on your wonderful suggestions and whatever else happens in the chess world. So thank you all. I will see you soon, and have an excellent rest of your day.